The fair and equal treatment of domestic workers has been among the major concerns of Migrant Forum in Asia in its advocacy for the protection and promotion of the rights of migrant workers and their families in Asia. MFA is a regional migrants' rights advocacy network that promotes and protects the right of migrant workers regardless of their status. MFA's commitment to the issue of domestic work dates back to the network's establishment in 1994 in a forum held in Taiwan entitled Living and Working Together with Migrants in Asia. The Asian Migrant Center, one of the founding members of MFA, initiated the first program for migrant domestic workers. MFA was the first network in the region to call for the recognition of migrant workers' right to freedom of association and the right to organize and form associations or trade unions.
I'm here not conditioned to the success of any of the things that we are listening here, but sharing a conviction that we have continued struggling and using all kinds of opportunities that are open toward the solution of the problems that we have.
In 2007, MFA played an instrumental role in the creation of the Asian Migrant Domestic Workers Alliance, ADWA, a self-representative regional alliance of migrant domestic workers. The alliance is led by the grassroots MDW organizations, while the NGOs and civil society partners provide support and facilitation to enable MDWs in Asia to self-represent and advocate for their common interests and objectives. In Asia, MFA and ADWA initiated the first national consultation on the rights of women migrants and domestic workers in Tarlac City, Philippines from May 13 to the 16th, 2009. The consultation was the first of its kind to be held in Asia. It brought together advocates of the rights of local domestic workers, migrant domestic workers and women migrants. Following the Philippines, the Indonesia, Cambodia and Singapore held on June 18th to the 19th, 7th, 8th July and 28th July respectively. MFA together with ADWA, the National Domestic Workers Movement and the Center for Education and Communication held a regional consultation on domestic work from 3rd and 4th September 2009 in Mumbai, India.
What we are proposing is successful in the sense that it flies as we want it to fly. Both groups, civil society and governments, remain and will remain two apart. Clearly, we need a process in which we can build an environment within which both governments and civil society can interact in a more real way, more substantive way, more meaningful way, and at the end of the day, in building something together.
The MFA conducted several side events in and around Geneva, previewing the 2010 Global Forum on Migration and Development, Culture of Impunity, Principal Challenge of the Human Rights, case studies on the role of human rights defenders versus the responsibilities of the states, a public mobilization for the Swiss domestic workers in the struggle for a statutory minimum wage, the impact of the lack of social protection for domestic workers and their families, rights and recognition for domestic workers, a poster exhibit for inquiries, Freedom of Association Day, celebrating domestic workers' solidarity were the main events.
Domestic worker, a worker. Domestic worker, not slave.
Domestic workers are not slaves. We are workers. We are not slaves. We are workers. We are not slaves. We are workers. We are not slaves.
The poster exhibition, which opens poster campaigns on solidarity with the domestic workers from all over the world. The live performances in front of the broken chair opposite to UN headquarters. As many as 400 people signed even before the petition had to be handed over to the ILO head office to make them know that domestic workers need a convention and not recommendations. MFA has partnered with many other human rights associations such as Forum Asia, Migrant Rights International, Solidarity for Asian People for Advocacy, etc. MFA called on the International Labour Organization to pressure governments as well as workers and employees group to work for a convention setting international standards for domestic helpers. Migrants Forum Asia Executive Committee Chair Eileen Sana said in a speech in the International Labour Conference. Sana lamented that domestic work has not been fully and widely recognized as work. Domestic workers have not been covered by labour laws that protect and promote their rights, welfare and dignity.